All right, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about my last video, which went crazy viral. I did not expect that video to go as high as it did, as quick as it did. Well, I guess about going on two and a half weeks now since when I recorded it and uploaded it. Yeah, it wasn't even meant to go that viral, right? I was basically just trying to reiterate what Graham from Boosted had found out while trying to tune other GR Corollas, in that he had found GPS trackers on those cars, and it was interfering with EcuTech and him being able to tune the cars. So basically, he posted that post in the GR Corolla forums, which I showed in that last video, and I'll show again right here. That he found some GPS trackers and like he had to remove them to be able to tune the car. And I was just basically trying to reiterate that in video form, right? And that thing went, I think after like the first day, it got up to like 20,000 views in an instant. And then from there, it just kept climbing by hundreds of thousands each day. I don't know what happened. I know Yahoo News and Car Scoops eventually shared their post. I don't know who else shared that post, but like it got super viral, super quick, right? Like almost 2 million views in the span of 2 weeks, over 6,500 comments. All of it just basically trying to put their 2 cents in what it is, what it isn't. Some of it just random questions about what's going on. How do they find one in their car? Some racists, just for no reason, just me being Asian apparently has something to do with this. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I'm basically here to tell you I did confront the dealer today, as Friday, June 21st. As you can tell or can't tell, these office buildings right here, one of them is my lawyer's office. And yeah, this video is basically going to be very different. I was basically going to show you initially the conversation I had with one of the people at the dealership. And I was going to post that, and then I was going to post this conversation with the lawyer, but the lawyer actually advised me not to post that video just yet in case of defamation suit or whatever that they want to try and pull on us. So he told me what I can and can't tell you, which is why I didn't name any names just right now. So I'm going to keep the dealer's name out of this video for now. I'm going to keep the person I talked to, his position, out of the conversation. I can give you a synopsis of what happened, but really that's about it. So a lot of this is going to be answering the questions you had in the previous video and giving you a quick snippet of what me and the dealer had a conversation about. And I guess first and foremost, a lot of you guys had asked what state I'm in. You guys assumed I'm in California. I am not. I am in Texas, Houston, Texas to be precise. Another surprisingly random amount of comments was my anti-gravity battery. You guys, that video garnered the attention of a lot of non-car people, right? They're just general people who know some things about cars, and you guys literally thought I meant my battery was anti-gravity just floating around somewhere in my trunk. No, that is the name of the battery company. Anti-gravity is the name of the battery. They make lightweight lithium batteries for people trying to save as much weight in their car as possible. It comes with a special feature that, like, if it drains or dies, it has a button that you can push and it sends enough charge. It saves or stores it or whatever, but whatever it does, you can push that button and it acts like a jump start, so you can start the car. That's what I was talking about. And like, if you can't reach the battery easily, like my car, it's in the back of the trunk. It comes with a Bluetooth remote that you can press, and yeah, it sends the signal and it says the same thing. That is an anti-gravity battery. I don't have a battery that doesn't weigh anything. It's just floating in the back of my trunk. It's crazy the amount of like non-car people coming to this channel now, at least for that one video. But yeah, that is the anti-gravity battery. A lot of people are saying that it is not a GPS tracker, or that is from factory. I can definitely tell you it is not a GPS tracker from factory, but it is a GPS tracker. It does have like an IMEI number. A lot of you guys told me to take this panel off, and then there should be a SIM card in there, right? And yep, there it is. See, that is the slot for the SIM card right there. That is a SIM card. I took it out. The OBD2 that it piggybacked into, and that was the one that replaced the factory white Toyota. So if you guys are wondering, a lot of people comments, this should be white on your newer Toyota. So that's an easy way to tell. But yeah, so that is a GPS tracker. A lot of people are saying it is a Philips EPS or GPS tracker, and that a lot of different reasons of why it's in there. A lot of it, people are saying, oh, we installed those for tracking the car, right, in case it's lost or stolen. Like when I said LoJack in the last video, I didn't mean LoJack the company. I'd used it as a blanket statement, like how people say Q-tips or Band-Aids. You guys call it by the name brands to mean one thing. That's what I did with LoJack. It is a GPS tracker for another company that they were trying to sell off on me at one point in time or another. So that it is a GPS tracker. It's not factory. It has nothing to do with them tracking with warranty. They could tell how I drive the car from factory just by pulling the data from the ECU and seeing how I drive the car. They don't need that. And then even then, the car has a built-in telemetry that they could just figure all that out from, right? Like they don't need that. So it is the GPS tracker. Another issue that was coming up is that a lot of people were saying it is for repossession purposes. If you don't have good credit, maybe they high risk, or even then like just a high value car they don't want to lose, which I guess kind of makes sense, except for my situation, which a lot of you guys don't seem to read the pinned comments. The car is paid, it's done. Like I bought this thing cash, so there was no reason for it to be there. So there, that one's thrown out the window automatically. And then a lot of you guys saying, oh, they put it in the cars just in case. I'm like, so you guys think they're installing these $100 GPS trackers into every single one of the cars just in case the customer comes in with bad credit? Like they're paying for the tracker. They got to pay a tech to install it. That's probably already like $150 out of their pocket for a maybe. Like that just doesn't make sense to me, right? So that was that. A lot of you guys were also saying, oh, it's to sell my driving data to insurance. That I don't know. I have no proof that it does or doesn't. But there was a lot of comments on that. Anyways, those are just the basic run through of everything that was, not everything. There was a lot more comments in there that but those were the main ones I wanted to pinpoint. The state I'm in, if it is or isn't a GPS tracker, what is it used for, what is not used for, yada yada yada. But anyways, like I said, I wanted to tell you the story of encounter with the person at the dealership, but I'm gonna try to remember everything the lawyer told me I can and can't say at this time. So basically, I went to the dealership, confronted somebody of a higher position about the GPS tracker that I found. And initially, right off the bat, he's like, we don't install GPS tracker. I'm not sure what you're talking about. He was just trying to deny that there was even one on the car. And then I showed him the video and then brought the GPS tracker in with me. And he's like, oh, and then all of a sudden it's changed. Oh, those are for us to track the car on our lot in case it's stolen, which didn't make sense because I was there when the car got delivered to the dealership. So I don't understand. And I'm like what's the, I mean, I guess maybe they did just in case I didn't want to buy it, but like, why even waste your time if like it's sitting there on the trailer, I can see it, you're driving it off. And yeah, I don't know. So first he started to deny it, and then first he was like trying to give me another reason why I was there. And then even worse is that like, even if that is the case, like you guys can still track it then. Like, why are you able to track my car? Like, why was it even put in there when I bought the car? And it's like, oh, well, really only 2 or 3 people at that dealership have access to that data. I'm like, but yeah, but somebody has access to it. Like, that's just weird. And even then, like, what if their system gets hacked, or if like somebody just randomly, however they track these cars, even though only one person has access to it, it could fall into somebody else's hands. So that was already weird right off the get-go. It was just excuses after excuses. Like I said, I can't show you the full story. It was about a 20 or 30 minute conversation. And I can only give you a synopsis, as I said, based on my lawyer before. And then, you know, the reason this video took so long to get made is because I want to go over my purchase agreement to make sure I wasn't signing anything that says it's in there. And, you know, it's a good amount of pages. Not like an encyclopedia, but it's a good amount of pages, a lot of fine print. I didn't find anything personally, which is why I'm here at a lawyer's office. I gave him the contract. He said he'll go over it with a fine-tooth comb. make sure there is nothing in there about a GPS tracker that I signed or didn't sign for, and he will go from there. But basically, that is the long and the short of it. It's all I can give you. Basically, they tried to deny there was even one at first. I showed them the video, I showed them the tracker, then all of a sudden, oh yeah, it's there for this reason, even though you just told me you don't install these at all at this place. And then you tried to sell me a tracking system to begin with. And he said, oh, well, that would be the only time we actually do install it. And I'm just like, man, there's so many different like things you're changing throughout this conversation. And I get it. Maybe he was just nervous. He was on video. I don't know. But it's not like I was in his face, right? I told him this video is going to be recorded for like purposes of this. It's not like I had the video in his face. It was facing me the whole time, which hopefully you guys will eventually see whenever this is all said and done. No, the stories just didn't line up. And yeah. Anyways, like I said, this video is going to be very different. It was basically just going to be the entire conversation of the dealer. But luckily, I talked to my lawyer first, and he said, don't post it just yet. Give him a quick synopsis. Leave out major key details. Leave out names of the dealership and the people you talk to and their positions, yada, yada, yada. So yeah, just know I talked to a higher up at the dealership I bought the car from. They initially tried to deny the tracker. Then once I showed them proof of the tracker, they tried to say what it was actually for. Which doesn't make no sense in my case. But anyways, thank you for watching, guys. It's crazy. I don't even know if this video is going to go as viral as the last one. It's basically just a quick synopsis, answering a bunch of questions in the last video. And yeah, we should be getting back to our regularly scheduled program of working on the GR Corolla in future videos. If you guys are unaware, this channel is about me working on the GR Corolla. Oh, another thing, a lot of you guys are wondering why I was messing around, why I was even plugging anything in a 2024 GR Corolla OBD 2-port to begin with. This is such a brand new car. First of all, I don't know where you guys got that this was a 2024. This is a 2023 that I bought in 2022, at the end of 2022. So it's over a year old now, going on 2 years old. It's fully modified. It's basically been to the track and back. It is my track car. It is the project feature of this channel for this season. Yeah, this is a car building channel. I'm not just some random person who uploaded one video about this, and I am a car guy. So yeah, like I said, that video garnered a lot of attention of non-car people who aren't normally subscribed to this channel. In fact, I think according to the analytics, 99.9% of views came from non-subscribers, and the rest was from subscribers. But anyways, thank you for watching, guys. I hope this update was helpful. I hope you guys found yours and removed them. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to ask them in the comments down below. I'll answer as much as I can. If not, I'll do another update video, and then we'll go from there. So until next time, guys, later.